Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea if you're new here, and if you are here for mom content, pregnancy content, health content, just basically anything that makes you function better around the home, then go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and you can get more videos like this. I am super excited for my upcoming videos because I'm going to be doing like a registry series where I talk about, like, as a third-time mom, what I view as like necessary for like items to not forget on your registry. So I'm gonna be doing that soon. We are gonna be doing our house reveal video soon because we have been painting the outside of our exterior of our house, and it has been quite the long project, but I'm really excited to bring you guys that video. So yeah, let's just jump right in. I am 26 weeks pregnant today. 26 weeks pregnant, and it is just mind-blowing how close to my third trimester that I am. Like, I literally only have 2 weeks left until my third trimester, and I'm just, my mind is just like completely shocked by that. Like, I don't know where my second trimester went, and I obviously don't know where my first trimester went since I missed my almost entire first trimester not knowing that I was pregnant. So if you want to see that video, that was a pretty fun time in our lives, realizing that I was pregnant and didn't know it. So I will link that video here. But this week I'm not going to do a bunch of reading on the apps. I'm just going to bring you my favorite little tidbits that I read from the apps, and then kind of move forward just to keep it a little bit more on the shorter side. So this week he is the size of a butternut squash. So I mean, that's fairly large. It says that I have paint all over my skin, so oh my gosh, like, I do take showers sometimes. Probably not as often as I should, but I have a really hard time getting exterior paint off of my skin for some reason. Anyway, he is 14 inches long and he is 2 pounds, which is just crazy. If I think about my like really light, I have 2 pound weights that are like super lightweight, and I'm like, I mean, that's a lot though. Like, even though it's super light when you're like lifting weights, like if you think about a baby being the size of that weight, it's just like, that's so crazy to me. I'm just like, I don't even like know how I got to be 26 weeks. Like, I feel like the last few weeks have gone pretty slow, but now that I'm like only a couple weeks away from my third trimester, it's just kind of like, oh gosh, like we literally have not even touched the nursery yet. I haven't really bought anything for this baby, which that'll be a fun video because I do plan on buying just a few new things. With it being a third boy, you gotta buy a few things so then you don't go crazy looking at the same clothes again. However, I am very thankful that we have almost everything that we could need. And anything that I do want to purchase is just like a little perk and something to freshen the wardrobe. Okay, so my app was saying that his eyes are starting to open, and I kind of forgot that their eyes are fused shut, so that's kind of cool to think that, like, and also a little bit creepy to think that he might be opening his eyes soon. Yeah, I just think that's super crazy. What else is new? Okay, so as far as my symptoms go, I want to pretty much just echo what I said last week. There's really nothing like crazy new, other than I do feel like you can really tell today. My face is starting to swell a little bit. I feel like some days I wake up and it's not like this, and then other days I wake up and I'm like, what did I eat yesterday? So I feel like I'm retaining water today, at least. I don't know. I just feel a little puffy today, and the weather has shifted and I'm dealing with allergies, so it always, I mean, everything could be that. Yeah, this has been kind of a crazy week around here because I feel like I cannot keep my kids healthy. Like, we had a perfectly healthy winter, and then spring hit, and I feel like all of us have allergies, but Zeke's keeps turning into like a mild cough, and then he keeps giving it to Ezra, which tells me like it's not allergies, it's probably just like a small cold virus, but I just cannot keep them healthy, and so it really affects our sleep and it affects their moods. And so it's just been kind of an off week, like thinking about just all the behavior stuff I've had to deal with this week when it comes to especially Ezra. He gets really, really upset when he's not feeling the best. I just had to change my battery. My camera was dying. But I did want to mention, so with like the behavior stuff, a lot of it is coming from Zeke not really napping anymore, which I feel like maybe 1 day a week he takes a good nap, and then the rest of the week is just kind of like, he just like either sings and talks in bed, or and then about an hour in he gets really upset, and then I have to come down there and either console him or like let him get out of bed. It just kind of depends on the day and depends on like what I'm doing and what I can handle, because to be honest, I need that decompression time every day. So I was just curious if any of you guys have toddlers. He is 3.5, he'll be 4 in October. Definitely still like needs the rest, because if he doesn't sleep, which is most days now, he gets very, very irritable in the evenings and ends up like melting down like shortly after dinner, and just like doesn't really have as much control of his emotions, and like his like decision making in general is just not very good when he doesn't have a nap. I know that he needs at least the rest, so I was just curious if anyone has toddlers this age, like comment below, how did you get them to take quiet time in the room? Zeke has this like fear. His room is in the basement, and it's not like it's uber scary down there, but obviously he's young and he understands that he's on a different level of the house than us. So I think that he has trouble taking quiet time in his room because he's like kind of scared of being that far from me. So I've tried that a couple of times, but my friend was just mentioning like, hey, you should try to put on like an audiobook or just some like light music that he could like listen to, rather than like listening for noises and like thinking about the scary things. So yeah, I just can't even get him to play in his room by himself, which is super frustrating. So then what happens, then like, okay, then we'll put a movie on for you, and then 10 minutes in the movie he's talking my ear off, and I'm like, I cannot like, and it just makes me feel like a really bad mom, to be honest, because I feel like I'm always like telling him like, mommy's busy, mommy's doing this or whatever. But I do feel like I would be a better mom if I had more decompression time and more time to like be in my own thoughts rather than constantly responding to my child's thoughts. So I'm just like kind of desperate to find what can work when it comes to getting this kid to either sleep or just have quiet time in his room by himself. So we're really working on that, because he needs to be able to be by himself a little bit more by the time this new baby comes, because I'm gonna have my hands so full and I'm gonna be so tired and overstimulated, and I need to like, I'm asking for help because I need to protect him from my worst sides, which come out when he is constantly at my side. So yeah, comment below if you have any tips for that, because that's been really frustrating. But I will say Ezra has been napping phenomenally, and he's been napping about every day from like 1:30 to at least 3:30 or 4, and then sometimes he'll just like lay in his crib. He's so content. He just lays there and hums and rocks back and forth, and he doesn't need me. So I'm like, there are just days where if I'm tired and Zeke is still at me, then I'm like, I'm not getting him until he needs me. So sometimes when I think about adding a third, I get really overwhelmed. But let's just not think about it. Let's just let it happen, let it hit me, and just take it as it comes, because worrying about it is not going to help me at all. It's just going to make me more anxious. So let's just not think about it. But I would be lying if I said I was not nervous. So something that I did today that I wanted to share, nesting wise, I feel like I always have something nesty to share, is that I've been rotating the boys' toys out to just help them like play a little bit better. I want to do a whole series or video on toy rotation, because I just think it's like the way to go based on our experience and just a lot of research. I don't know if anyone's heard of the book Montessori Toddler, but that's a really good book to read when it comes to different play methods and like how to get your kids to play independently and just very imaginatively to use their imaginations in really awesome ways. So I'll kind of show you. There's a bunch of like crap on the counter, but so I have a basket. I'll just show you. I will show you my setup first. It's not currently cleaned up because Zeke was just playing. So I have these 3 baskets there, and then there's this lower shelf that I kind of put random things on, and then this top shelf that I put more of the cute things on because it's kind of decorative as well. So I typically keep this rainbow here because they're always playing with that. some sort of like wooden toy, and then there's usually a small basket here that has like more like nature items in it. And then I've got these 3 baskets and then that. So keep that in mind. What I did have in each basket, these trucks were in one basket, these dinosaurs were in another, these animals were in another, and then there's all this random crap in the other one. And this always happens, like if I let too long go and the toys just kind of go everywhere. We usually have one basket that just like all the random stuff goes in. So I emptied that, and I'm going to be putting this stuff away for now, most likely in large gallon size Ziploc baggies, and then labeling them. So over here we've got the kitchen set. This pretty much stays the same. I just keep the amount of food that we have out pretty simple. And then some of the food goes in these bags here, and then the rest of the food goes underneath in that basket. And then I don't know, really, that basket really does not have a purpose. And then this one is his big train set. None of this really changes all that much, other than if I decide to bring up, like for instance, I just decided to bring up this Build Your Own Pizza Kit by Melissa and Doug. It's so cute. So I'm going to switch something, but as I bring something up, I'm going to be switching something out. So probably something in this basket is going to go, yeah, there's too much in there anyway. So I'm going to empty some of that stuff out and take that back down to the basement, and then put this in, and then kind of organize that a little bit. And then over here, they do play with the dinosaurs a lot, so I just minimized them, put some dinosaurs in this basket. I put their little fishing kit, like fishing, I don't know what you call it, but there's magnets and little fish in there. And then the squigs, I rotated those out because Ezra was showing interest in those. And then this is their little doctor kit. And then this musical instrument, and then there's a basket over there that goes here, and I just put a bunch of like these Duplos Legos in it. This may seem like a little bit anal, but I count out like how many toys I put in each basket, so then I just know that there's like only 15 Legos and there's only 15 squigs. So then like when we're cleaning up, not that it really matters, but like I just like to know that there's not like an abundance, like a huge amount of toys. So that's been really helpful for me not to have like, I mean, things come with so many like numbers of things. So like that animal set that I just showed you that came with like, it's like 75 pieces. And so I only keep like 20 pieces out, and they play with them the same, and there's less mess, less for me to clean up on a daily basis, and it just like really, really helps me. So, and then I'm working on this today because I realized like, oh my gosh, it's been months since I've rotated our toys, and I usually rotate them like once a month. So it's like Christmas morning, like Zeke has been playing so well today because of these new toys, and it just makes me so excited. So I also got out a couple of new puzzles because Ezra is now, I mean, he's almost 17 months now, right? Yeah, he's almost 17 months. And so he's just at that age where he needs to start doing a little bit more like brain work when it comes to his play. So we're gonna start working on puzzles with him. So I got out 2 puzzles that I will keep on that bottom shelf, probably right there. And then the basket will go on the top shelf. So I just kind of wanted to show you our toy setup because I feel like I worked real hard and I'm kind of a freak about it. Overall, I just feel like less is more is the key to maintaining a clean home and like having toddlers that actually play with their toys. Like if they're all just thrown everywhere, they just don't play super efficiently, and then everything just ends up like disorganized, and then they don't even play with things the right way. So yeah, just a little inspiration for your, I just had to look at what day of the week it is. Some inspiration for your Wednesday. But yeah, that's really all that's new around here. I did get dinner in the crock pot, which always makes me feel like a winner. But I made a vegetable soup that I was kind of craving. It just sounded really fresh to me, and I knew that it would be something that I could just get in the crock pot. Oops. But I knew it would be something that I could get in the crock pot that I wouldn't have to worry about dinner, because we have soccer practice tonight for Zeke if it doesn't end up raining. I'm gonna do a bump shot because I did not do one last week, and that's about it for this week. And I will see you in the next week's update, or a video that's coming before that, which I think we have got a couple that I'm backlogged on and need to edit. So, but yeah, let me do the bump shot and close it out. I have on weird leggings today that are not maternity, but I feel like I'm getting large. I don't know if it's changed all that much, other than I do feel like it's way wider up here now. Again, I just like never wear ideal clothes for these bump shots because I really like loose fitting, comfy stuff. So that would probably not do justice, but I do feel like it's like higher, like it's harder higher, but then I still carry my babies like so ridiculously low. It's insane. So yeah, thanks for being here, and I will see you in the next video.